Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Superpower Quest Superhumans. And today I get to interview a friend of mine, Lyric-Shauna Freeman, who is the owner of Cinderella Janitorial and Housekeeping, and she is an evangelist. And so I wanted to interview her because she has a very special gift. And so what I found, and I've said this before, there are no boring people. Boring people do not exist. Like, you talk to anybody long enough to hear their story, and you're going to find amazing treasures and moving experiences. And so that's what the Superpower Quest is all about. So I interview, if I see people that have a superpower, I'm trying to interview them and put language to it. And so I get to talk with Lyric today. Lyric, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much, Johnny, for having me on your show. This is really exciting, and I'm like really amped about it. Oh, everything about you just pops anyway. So this show right here I'm honored to be on it.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having me.
Oh yeah, it's my pleasure. And as y'all can see already, like, you see the light on Lyric. I mean, she just radiates every place that she goes. And so we're going to get to see what, a little bit more about that as we walk through this. So Lyric, I asked you, kind of how you wanted to be described, and so you talked about your name and your profession, and then the word that came to mind as far as interesting fact was evangelist. Can you tell us a little bit about evangelist and why that came up?
Yes, the reason why it came up is because that's pretty much also one of my superpowers, shall I say.
Yeah.
I love to get out there and just captivate people with bringing them to Christianity and leading them to Christ. Um, it's not a forceful thing, it's a fun thing.
Yeah.
And so when I get out there and do it, just mingling and meeting people and asking them if they know Jesus. And, we just go from there. The conversation just explodes from there. Sometimes, it all the time, shall I say, is very interesting because, I meet all different types and people and different cultures, and it's really interesting to hear um, their testimonies and stories.
Yeah. All right. So there's a light, like I said, there's a light and there's a joy inside of you. So how is that, go ahead and tell us, where does that come from? That joy that is pretty evident.
That joy comes from it's like a child in me. Um, every morning when I wake up, it's like Christmas to me. I wake up excited about life,
Yeah.
and before I jump out the bed, I'm eager to see what today has for me, what the Lord has in my life, and what this day has for me. Who am I going to meet? Who am I going to encourage? Who's going to encourage me? What type of joy can I bring into that person's life, whether I'm coming into contact with multiple people, or even if it's just one, that conversation with just that one person, or even just the smile. And I never just smile at people. I'm always like, hi, good morning. So, my whole thing is to bring that light into everybody's life, even though every day is not that type of day. I
Yeah.
still start my day as if it's Christmas morning. It doesn't matter what type of emotion or trial or tribulation, whatever that day that it is. It's always Christmas in the morning.
Oh man, that's so beautiful, and strikes me as so true. My experience of you. So. So tell us your origin story then. Let's go deep. Like, when I say origin story, I mean kind of, what are the moments, the big moments that kind of made lyric.
Okay. Well, the big moments that made me me, um, I would have to definitely go back to my childhood.
Yeah.
And I think I told you this story about I got in trouble. Me and my twin brother, we were arguing or whatever, and I got in trouble. So because I was the one that pushed him, so my mom grounded me, and he got to go out and play. So I go into the garage, and I'm having this mini 9-year old tantrum, and I sit down on the garage floor in the dark, and then there's light coming in through the around the garage doors, the sunlight, and I'm grabbing books in this crate, and I'm throwing them across the garage because I'm so mad. And then I grabbed this one book, and it felt different, so I looked at it, and it said Holy Bible on it, and I opened it up, and I tossed it in the air actually, and it like fell in my lap. And when it opened, pop, there was a 23rd Psalm. And for me, I read it, and I read it, and I read it, and I opened the book and closed it and read verse by verse until I memorized it. And at that moment, I knew that I found Christ. I knew that was him. And I screamed and shouted and jumped around the garage that I found him. So that was one of my great moments that made me me, because at that moment I was different from my siblings. I was different from the rest of my family because I felt that I struck gold.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, not everybody watching this knows what Psalm 23 is. Can you say anything about what that passage is?
Oh, it's powerful. It literally describes who Jesus is. It really describes him as the shepherd, and we're his sheep, and how he tends to us. Um, my favorite verse, I would have to say, would be actually the first three. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Those verses right there gave me this childhood vision of just that, of
Yeah.
seeing this shepherd leading me, and lying in this field of beautiful flowers, and seeing this stream go by, even though it means deeper than that. That little girl saw just that.
Yes.
So that's what it's amazing.
Now, how old was that little girl when that
She was
happened?
9.
Wow. I've got a 9-year-old little girl, so
Oh yeah.
I can picture, you know,
Yes.
the joy. Yeah. Okay. So then what happened after that? You know, like so because at this there's a journey. Um, there's a journey to discover your gifting, right? Like at that point, you're dealing with this kind of childish joy and freedom, and you're changed in ways that maybe you don't even understand. Maybe the people around you don't understand necessarily.
Yes.
Um, but you begin a journey, right?
Yes, I did. That's where I started my journey, because from that point on, I knew that I needed to really find out who I was and who Jesus was, because I became different from that moment on. Like I said, I was different from my siblings because I had something inside of me that I needed to just go out and get, and just grab. There I felt like I was empowered. I felt like like I couldn't do anything because I found something that I felt nobody else really had at that time. And to me, there my journey started. So it started off, I saw this bus pull up down the block, and it was colorful and had uh, a picture of a Bible on the front of it. And each week I sat in front of my house the first week, and I watched the bus pull up on Sunday, the next house the next week, all the way until it took maybe about 5 weeks before I was at that very corner. And I just asked the guy when he opened the door, is he going to Jesus? And he said, yes. And he said, you want to go? And I was like, yes. So I jumped on that bus, and this little girl, and I had did my own hair. So I had this big poofy ponytail up on the top of my head, and a little red dress with a rainbow colored belt I'll never forget, and
Wow.
some red sneakers. And we pull up at this church, and they gave us ice cream cones, and we get inside, and I'm the eager beaver, the one that every time the Bible study teacher asks questions, I just want to know. I want to know everything, So from that point on, that's where I became really inquisitive.
Hmm.
So to move on into my teenage world, I went to Centennial High School in Compton, California,
Hmm.
and I played baseball, basketball. Modern dance was one of my favorites. So I graduated in 1979, and I went from there to Compton College for a CNA nursing assistant. Then I'm still looking for who I really am, and along the way, asking the Lord, show me what it is I should be doing. And I mean, I went in all kinds of directions trying to figure
Yep.
this out
Yep.
on my own. But the one thing that I know that I cherished and had passion with was cleaning.
Hmm.
I would clean my house as a child. I mean detail clean. When my mom says, "You okay, everybody get up and clean up," I was the first one out of bed. So my thing was, I want to vacuum. I want to wash walls. I want to get the baseboards. I want to do all of that. So um, from there, I started working at a company called Baird Industries for Northrop in California. And I started doing cleaning there, and I knew I was good at it. They were like, wow, blew them away. So as time went on, I moved to Texas, and I was working in the ER at Arlington Memorial, and I guess I was doing an exceptional job there. This nurse come to me, and she taps me on my shoulder, and I turn around, look at her, and she goes, "Hey, do you clean houses?" And I was like, "My own, but I can." And so she said, "I'm going to give you my address, and um, I want you to clean." She said, we've had many people cleaning here in the ER, but you clean the ER." And she's like, "This is really, really good. This is good." So she gives me her address, and I went to her home, and I took my oldest daughter with me, and we got in there and did our thing, shall I say.
Yeah.
So the next day, when I went to work, she comes in, and she has this flyer. And at the bottom of the flyer, there's my phone number and little tear off things. And she said, "I have to share this." She said, "You are magnificent." She said, "My house," she said, "wow, it's never been so clean." So she stuck that up on the bulletin board. And that's when Cinderella Janitorial was born.
Yeah.
Many nurses and doctors have started coming to me asking me, if I can do their homes or whatever. And yes, was the answer, yes, because it was something I loved to do. And I got out there, and from there they passed it on to other people, and so word of mouth, it just exploded. And I went in, did my assumed name, got my tax
Yep.
papers, my license, and everything. Boom, Cinderella Janitorial was born. It's just what I love to do.
Yeah. All right. So now this is cool. So when you took my superpower quest, you took my assessment, and you came out as having a core drive of harmony. So the most important thing to you, the three core drives are harmony, progress, and order. And everybody has all of them, but usually one floats to the top, right? And so the one
Mm-hmm.
that floated to the top for you was harmony. You want to have relational peace with people. You want to have good relationships with people. You want to be surrounded by peace, right?
Yes.
And that's the most important thing. And then you put you're a nurturer achiever, right? So the nurturer is the loyal caretaker, the loyal friend, the person with that gift of compassion and has a deep desire to take care of your people, right? That's the nurturer.
Yes. That's
Um,
it.
the achiever is I'm a heavy lifter and I get stuff done, right? Like it's you know, that's a person who can carry a load, who can cross a finish line, finisher, right? Executor.
That's
And
right.
so you put those two things together, and you're like you have this kind of power packed design for just helping people through. I'm gonna take care of you.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna take this seriously. I'm gonna get it done. It's gonna be done excellent, and and but it's as an act of love to the people around you. Does
That's
that
right.
sound accurate to you?
That is on point.
Yeah.
It's definitely on point. That is who I am.
Isn't that crazy? Like that's who you are, right? Like that is
Yes.
like cleaning got attached to it, so you have a great experience in cleaning. But then when you're doing this job, it's you told me it doesn't feel like work to you, and I was
No.
like, what?
It actually doesn't. It doesn't feel like work to me because it's a passion. And I know that when I'm doing this, the client is the person I'm doing it for. It doesn't matter how big the mess is or how deep down dirty I have to get. When
Yeah,
I'm done, my whole thing is just to please that person and to show that person that I love them.
yeah,
And it doesn't matter if I known them for a day, an hour, or for years. It doesn't matter. I love them all the same. And when I go in to do my job that I don't even consider a job to me,
yeah,
it's a moment of it's passion and it's my me time. But when I
yeah,
go in there, my whole goal is to make that smile show
yeah,
up on that person's face
yeah,
and to let them know that to me they matter.
yeah,
You matter, your home matter, your business matter, no matter what it is that I'm doing, that when I'm done, trust me, it's going to be to your satisfaction.
yes. All right. So now, so answer me this. Like you found. I would say that cleaning to you is calling now, right? It's not
Yes,
job or profession, but it's also calling,
that's right.
right? And so, and when a person can be in their job and their profession and their calling all at the same time, like really magical stuff starts to happen, right?
That's right.
Also, part of the reason I brought you on the show is I want people to have the ability to accept the unique treasure of their own design and not compare that treasure with someone else's treasure, right?
That's right. There's no
Right?
comparison. Everyone have their own fabulous identity.
Yes. Yes. And we do get tempted to compare, right? We get tempted to exalt the gift that's like, okay, well, this person over here, they have a financial gift and they can create wealth, right?
Right.
You know, and so and you know, and even me, like there's times there was a long time in my life where I kind of despised my gift because it was hard for me to see how my gift, you know, was effective or could make money or could make people happy, right? And now
Right.
I'm like all in. I'm flying with my gift. Like this interview is a manifestation of my gift, but it was a process for me to accept it because sometimes when your gift is revealed, you want it to be something different. You
Right.
know, that happens to people. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, that have.
Yeah. And
That
how do you
that
deal with it?
say that again, Johnny.
How do you deal with that when those
Um,
come?
I basically when it happens that way, I think about in all actuality what the Lord says to me.
Yeah,
And it's to be humble and to bring myself to where he has me. And that there's no higher and there's no lower, that we're all right here in the same place. And another way I thought about it is I look at the fact that okay, my neighborhood, my neighbors. There's bigger houses, there's smaller houses, there's giant houses. Mansions or semi mansions, shall you say? So everybody has that different. It's just different. And you have to accept that. There's that no matter how you look at somebody else and you say, wow, look at that. But then you have to look within yourself and say, wow, look at me. Because we're all this individual, mighty person. No
Yes.
matter who we are, no
Yeah.
matter where we are, no matter how we're living, we're still this mighty person,
Yes.
just as big as the other and just as small as the next. We're that same person. So that's how I manage to deal with it is I'm everybody
Yes.
and everybody is me.
Yes. Man, I love that. And the best thing you can do is know your gift and press into your gift, and it will take you places that you never imagined, right? Like
That's right.
it will.
It will. It will. It
Yeah.
will. You channel into it and just watch it go.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna give as we're starting to wrap up here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give some observations. First of all, I'm gonna say, Lyric actually has cleaned my house and does clean our house, and it's amazing. It's amazing, right? So
Thank you.
so to some degree, I want people out there to know, like those who are local in Colorado Springs, that Lyric is an incredible resource for using her gift to help take some of the load off in your residential property, or she also does commercial and other things like that. So first, I want to just put that out there for people, so that they know, like if you like what you see, and you want some of that,
That's right.
go get some of that. Like that's what I'll say. And then I'll just name some of the things I see in you, right? Like in terms of your superpower. So
Yes.
I see probably the first thing I see is what I named very early. There's a joy and a light inside of you.
Thank
It's in your smile, it's in your expression, it's in the way you carry yourself. There's a joy. The second thing is there's this curiosity, and it's like the curiosity and the awe of a child almost. That when you see that in an adult, it's such a joyful and beautiful thing to see, right? When
Right.
because it's like we're tapped into who we were at the beginning and who we are now, and just because we grew up didn't mean we stopped being or having the little child, right?
That's
Like
right.
like the
Yes.
happiest people are the people that don't hate their child, don't hate the child inside of them, or haven't learned to despise the child inside of them, but have learned to like, nah, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
And so there's a curiosity inside of you, and then there's this excellence, right? Like there's a drive in you towards excellence, which I think is part of what's giving you the testimony that you have in your job, right?
Yes.
You know what? I see how you're cleaning this healthcare facility. Man, come clean my house. Oh, you clean my house. Oh, let me create a flyer for you without asking you, right? I love that.
Yes.
Like
I
she didn't
know
just go
exactly.
upstairs,
That's how it went.
but she created the flyer with tear-offs on it and put it in the bulletin board and told you after the fact. Well, why? Because of excellence. That's why she did that, right? Um,
Yes.
and so I just appreciate you coming and just sharing your particular story, your origin story, and your superpower with us.
Thank you so much, Johnny. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoy working for you.
All
And
right.
this right here is an honor for me to just let people know how beautiful and wonderful they are.
Yes.
And that's what I care about.
Yeah.
That's what I care about, and that's where my passion is. That's what I care about. I care about putting a smile on everybody's face.
Yeah. It's evident. So everybody, we're wrapping up. So that's the show for today. I'm glad you were able to join us, and have a great day.